The elbow where it is on the knee, placing the palms on the floor, weight into hands and coming into your balancing pose. Side pose, squeezing the knees together there. It's alright. Good. Returning the feet to the floor and just coming into Uttanasana, your forward fold. Just toe heel the feet apart and tuck your palms so that they're underneath the feet. We're going to come into Padahastasana, gorilla pose. So elbows should be wide here, so you're creating length as you pull your body downwards and your crown of your head towards the floor. Elbows are wide. Feeling the nice stretch through the hamstrings and the release through the wrists. You can either have your legs straight or your knees bent in this pose. Releasing the hands as you roll all the way slowly up to standing. Good. We'll just take a couple of breaths here in Tadasana. Just get our head together. Let the circulation return. We come into a couple of balancing poses here. So, inhale as you draw the right leg up towards the chest, grasping it with your hands, lengthening the tailbone towards the ground, broadening through the collarbone. Releasing the knee, keeping the leg lifted, shining your hands towards the sky and straightening the leg to the front of the room, creating as much lift as you can, using your quads, using your hip flexors, lifting that foot. Taking your left hand to the left hip, bending through the right knee, taking the toe in your hand and seeing if you can straighten through that right leg, lifting high through the collarbone. Good. Extending your left arm to the left-hand side of the room and slowly taking that leg to the right-hand side of the room. Good. Slowly returning it to the centre. Release the toe, keeping the leg lifted. Extend the hands towards the ceiling, lifting that leg one last time and releasing it to the floor. Great, well done. We'll swap sides. So just giving that leg a little shake out to start with. Okay, so left hand side. So lifting the left leg up towards the chest, gripping that knee with the hands. Releasing the knee, shining the fingertips towards the ceiling, creating lift and lifting through that left leg, seeing if you can get it parallel to the floor. You don't want to be leaning back here, so keeping your torso forward. Good. Taking your right hand to the right hip, reaching forward as you bend through the left knee to take your big toe in your hand as you straighten as much as you can the left leg towards the front of the room. Staying tall, torso and your shoulders should be square to the front of the room, so you might want to just bring your right shoulder forward a little bit. Extending the right hand towards the right hand side of the room as you take the left leg to the left side, slowly bringing it back to centre. Release the toe as you shine through the fingertips towards the ceiling, lifting that leg, and release all the way to the floor. Well done. Giving that leg a little bit of a shake. Inhale, sweeping the arms high, and exhale, coming into forward fold. Inhale, half lift, back of neck long, palms to the floor. Exhale as you step or jump back to the plank, lower down, Chaturanga, rolling over the toes as you lift the chest and the chin to up dog, tucking the chin and rolling over the toes back into downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale completely and step or jump through the hands to come into a seated position. Great. So we're going to come into wheel pose here. So feet should be just hip width apart, nice and close to the bottom, and reaching the hands in front. We're just going to slowly exhale as we come all the way down to the sure that you can actually touch the backs of the ankles with your fingertips. You want to be placing your hands above your shoulders so that the fingers are pointing towards the shoulders. So we're going to come up in a couple of steps. So inhale as you ground and you roll up, tuck under the sitting bones and roll up into a back bend first onto the head, and then see if you can straighten through the arms, come into full wheel pose. You want to work on straightening through those legs, maybe just a little bit more of a gap there. That's it. So work on straightening through the legs and the arms, bringing your weight forward towards the front of the room. Tucking the chin and slowly lower down to the floor. Shoulders come down first and roll down all the way onto the back. Good. We're going to come into our shoulder stand here. So palms should be facing downwards on the floor. Lifting, and if anyone in the room is menstruating, there is an option, Viparita Karani. We won't come up into full shoulder stand if that's the case. You would just be lifting the legs upwards towards the ceiling. So let's come into Viparita Karani to start with. So palms facing down, just lifting the legs upwards towards the ceiling into an L shape. For those who are staying here, this is where to stop. Otherwise, coming into shoulder stand. So pushing through the palms and rolling up onto the shoulders, supporting your lower back with your hands, bringing your pelvis forwards towards the back of the room, and shining. You want to flex your toes back there and create lift towards the ceiling. Lifting those feet towards the ceiling. Good. You want your neck to be relaxed in this position. You don't want to be turning your head to look at the person beside you. Good. Either staying here or coming into plough pose as you lower the feet slowly over your head so that, you don't quite have enough room. Oh, you made it. So that your feet come to rest towards the back of the room. We're going to come out of that pose here, so just slowly rolling down towards the floor. You can lower your palms so that they're facing downwards on the floor and slowly lower all the way downwards to the mat as you exhale. Just to counter that, we're going to come into fish pose. So palms are facing downwards, down near the hips. You can even tuck your thumbs just underneath your buttocks there. So you want to ground through the elbows and create lift as you lift your chest upwards off the mat, creating lift through the chest and drop the head back just to open up the back of the throat. To come out of it, tucking the chin towards the chest and slowly release onto the floor. Just to finish up, we're just going to give our knees a little bit of a hug, so just drawing the knees inwards towards the chest, taking hold of the outside of the knees. You might just like to do a few figure of eights or rock from side to side. Good. Just centering yourself as you stretch your feet towards the end of the mat. Kind of come into Shavasana. Feet roll outwards, lengthening the legs, the back of the neck, palms face upwards, arms are at 30 degrees to your body, opening the hips, skyward, surrendering. Okay, I'm not going to go into it. Thank you.